Hello, chickens. You want to learn about peaches? No? You want to learn about grass? Okay. Welcome back to Homestead Aquarius. We're standing underneath one of my favorite trees. Another of the trees that I consider a success. Now, it's not because I'm so smart or anything like that. It's nature is so smart. And I'm smart enough to value nature and what she wants to do, right? Working with nature and not against her. Now, the tree that you see here is very special and near and dear to my heart. This is what's called an Indian peach. Now, it was called that because these peaches that you see scattered all over the ground, right? These were brought over by the Spanish when they first came to the Americas. They got them from China during their explorations. They brought these back to Spain, grew them there, grew lots of food, and took that food with them on the ships across the big ocean to America. South and Central America, up the coast, Florida, and eventually these got in the hands of the natives, the Native Americans, all up and down the continent. And they spread these. It's such a powerful food-producing machine. They knew the value of that, and they had vast orchards of these trees all across America where they would grow good, particularly in the southeastern United States, all the way on up to Canada, I suppose. Peaches are wonderful. Now, it's almost like a wild peach, you know, unchanged. And I like that. Look at that. Now, this fruit here is a little overripe, shall we say. Now, here's what prompted me to make these series of videos. My neighbor contacted me and said, hey, when a storm come up, knocked a bunch of peaches on the ground, you know, come on over if you want to get some. I said, oh, that's nice. A couple of days went by. I came down yesterday, and they were all gone. All the ones that were fit to eat. And you see, I wasn't the only one that found out about that. See, there's two other families here, the ones that live here and their kid, and then other neighbors, and they've got a couple of kids, and they don't wait too long. If you snooze, you lose, you know. And see, that's okay. So with the peaches, I have not gotten a single peach. There's some on the tree, but they're kind of knotty. And these little peaches here, this peach tree is more like a old feral dog, right? It's not quite wild, but it's not quite totally domesticated and taken care of. It's not managed for fruit production. It's just simply here. It needs to be pruned and things done to make sure that the many things that love peaches besides me and you don't eat them, right? One day maybe it'll be that way. But anyhow, so this is all of this. The ground is covered in peaches, okay? Without having to do anything to this tree, it's littered the ground with produce, okay? Not doing a thing to it. That's incredible. That's what you want on your property. It's another permaculture thing. And what I want to get across to you is a few things with this video. Get yourself some fruit trees and get them going. If you can get fruit trees that reproduce after their own kind, that's special, all right? If you can reproduce them, then all right. Sorry about that little break here. My phone overheated, and I'm in the shade, y'all. Okay. So anyhow, if you can get fruit trees on your property that will reproduce after their own kind, you have got a wonderful treasure. You know, now like I said, this old fruit tree here, or young fruit tree, is one of many. Now look at this. Look at this peach here, okay? Look at that. Nobody want to eat that, right? This is not really the YouTube worthy content here. This old nasty looking peach, okay? But like I said, they don't have to be. This peach is more like feral at this point. And in no time at all, this can make some wonderful fruit. But if it's not cared for, then it's like anything else. It's just feral. It's just out there. But it makes me wonder when I think about these peaches. Okay, now why are these so special to me? Because this peach tree is the daughter, okay, the next generation of the peach trees that my grandparents planted many decades ago. Many of them, not just a few years, many decades ago. And they're still producing. Those peach trees are still producing. When I was a boy, I used to walk around with my pocket knife, pick them up during the summer and just sit there and eat till I was sick. But now you had to fight the worms, okay? I had to fight the worms to get you a little bit. You cut around the worm, you're doing okay. And my folks, they canned many jars of peaches each year from their trees. This is the next generation from that. Each one of these peaches will be the grandkids, right? Each one of these peaches laying on the ground could be the grandkids' generation of the ones that my grandparents planted so long ago. I've already done a lot of that. I've already made many of these trees, okay? I've planted many peach trees. They've grown up to a size to where I could give them away. I've got these up next to the Great Lakes, and they're doing great. People that I have shared with, the people that left this property to go so far north, have had bumper crops of these peaches. It makes me feel good. That's the kind of stuff. It's like when you give out, when you're doing stuff that's good, and you give back, all right, you pay it forward, you do the things, it outlives you, all right? It keeps going. The neighbors that came over and got whatever good peaches they could, and they've been fighting the worms too. They have to cut around everything, the worms, to get a little bit of meat off of these peaches, I know. It brings me great pleasure to know that my efforts a few years ago has helped other people to eat. I like that. I like it a lot. Now that's where that bucket is going to come in here in a little bit, because I'm going to pick up these rotten peaches and get them ready to go back to plant. Now here's the thing, peaches are wonderful. These need to be stratified. They need to have cold weather on the seed before they will germinate. So keep that in mind when you go with your peaches. They've got to overwinter. And the ones that are now at my dad's place, which was my grandparents' place, the deer help process them. This time of the year, the deer are basically camped out in the yard under the peach trees, and they're just sitting there eating. Them and the groundhogs, right? And they eat, and then they poop out the seed, you know. This tree came from one of those peaches that the deer had eaten. Whether they pooped it out or not, they just spit out the seed. Okay, this ain't necessarily a poop tree, but it works, right? That's what you can do too. Just as sure as I'm sitting here, an old hillbilly, talking to you about this, you can do the same thing. In fact, I'm going to be collecting as many of these as possible and getting these ready. I'll probably do a giveaway of some of these peach seeds. Get as many started as I can. And anybody want a chicken? Neighbors just got chickens, and I'm so happy. I love to hear that. Yeah. But anyhow, this is... They got a Dominic or rooster over here going to town. I thought about this, I'll probably give some of these away whenever I get them processed and ready to do so. And you'll probably have to stratify them on your own if it's soon that I do the giveaway on those. But a good old peach tree like this will provide you with so much food. A fruit tree will reliably provide you with hundreds of pounds of food every year that you don't have to baby, okay? That's an amazing thing about fruit trees. So get you some fruit trees going. Doesn't matter what kind it is, but some are better. If you get the ones that can reproduce after their own kind, their own seed, then you've got gold right there for you and other people. But when I think about this, I always think about, even though these are not the attractive peaches, okay? They're not attractive. They're not that pretty. Let me show you the not pretty part. They are when they're taken care of, right? But I wonder how many people now. Peaches come from China, right? Long time ago, the Spanish brought them over here. Makes me wonder, additionally with my grandparents that cared for their peach trees, I wonder how many generations of Chinese grandparents, Asian grandparents, folks of that part of the world cared for their trees. How many generations did that? It's not just me and my grandparents and parents. It's the ones farther back in time, from when we first figured out that these were good to eat. And their efforts, there's just no telling how many Native Americans has this peach tree have in its lineage. What did it come from? An orchard in South America or Florida? Where did these come from? And when you do these things, you link yourself into that history. The people may not ever know your name. I certainly don't know the names of the people that were involved in bringing this tree forward through history. But I know that somebody did, and I know that I am one of those people. Think about that. It's not just about what you do for yourself. It's about what you do for yourself that benefits other people. I'm going to leave it on that. I think this is probably a long video. So, my sincere thank yous to everyone who has watched to this point. Thank you very much. Y'all be good. And, look, we got something creeping here. What do we got creeping? Oh, it looks like a cicada. No, it's a is it? What is this? What is that? It's a great big old horsefly looking thing. Great big old fly of some kind. I don't know what that is. Anyhow, y'all be good. And get you some peach trees and pay it forward to the next generations of people that won't know your name. Y'all be good. All right, chickens. I'm going to be over here raking up some peaches now. Y'all okay? All right, can I have them? Mine? Now I've got a little bit of light left. A little bit of the day left. It's nice and cool. let's rake up some peaches. All right, well, I'm done now. We done had the walking stick, now we got the bucket. Their jobs are done. And I can tell you something, after picking up 5 gallons of rotten, nasty peaches, I think I prefer the deer to eat them first and me just pick up the seeds after they're cleaned and processed. These are nasty. Don't want to eat one of these, but you know what? Each one of these might produce a tree that'll feed a lot of people. We'll find out. Y'all be good.